I play the bass, and I've been playing the bass for, man, I don't know how long, a long time, since I was a teenager pretty much. Man, I like so many different bands and artists. I couldn't just pick one, because I like from punk to hardcore. The old stuff in particular is really what speaks to me.
Huh. My name is Jeff. I do vocals. As far as playing in bands, been doing it for 20 plus years. Everything from black metal bands to punk, whatnot. What bands I'm into, everything from ranging from Napalm Death to The Damned to Joy Division to Susie and the Banshees to DMX. And the list goes on.
My name's Donnie. I play drums. I've been playing for about 28 years. As far as my favorite band,
28 years? God
yeah.
damn.
I know.
I'm not even that old.
You look like you're 25, 24.
Playing in the band. My favorite bands, I mean, it's like Jeff said, it spans from all kinds of, from hardcore, metal, punk, especially new wave though. I love a lot of new wave music, 80s new wave. But I don't know, if I had to say a band that I listen to probably a lot and still one of my favorites since I was a kid is probably the Smiths, believe it or not. So, yeah. Big Morrissey fan. I know. Here come the jokes.
Hey, what's wrong with that?
Yeah.
Morrissey's good.
Yeah. Yeah, and I would just say Smiths then.
And Minch.
Yeah.
If anybody knows who Minch is.
Yeah. And Jason?
I'm Jason. I play guitar in the band, and I've been playing for since I was 17 or something, which is probably about 17 or 18 years now. And my influences range from grindcore to sludge to shoegazing to new wave. I'm all over the place. To no wave.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's about it.
Right. So the name Khobretti, I know when I first tried to spell it, it was kind of tough. But what does the name mean?
I can definitely answer that. How that story even came about. It basically stems from the movie Cobra, the Sylvester Stallone movie. His character's name is Marion Khobretti, but really it's just we kept trying to think of a name. And for me, for a band name, I like to have a band name where you Google it, that's the only thing that comes up. We don't want to use a generic word or anything like that. So we kept trying to brainstorm, thinking different things, and then one day we were in Austin, driving around. My wife goes, "Why don't you name it Khobretti?" And I was like, "That's a good idea, but then we'll just change the spelling a little bit so it's not like the character." Because on the movie it's C-O, but we put K-H. And I don't know, Cobra is one of those movies we watched since I was a kid and always joke around about it. What would Marion Khobretti do?
Well, it's a nice. I mean, it's a nice name. It's a very catchy name. But again, and it's cool. There's no definition out there, like you said, because there's usually most band names. There's some definition or meaning behind the names, So it's a really cool name.
And also, you're the disease and I'm the cure.
So, and again, so you guys have, I guess, I've seen you guys playing at these different, bars for a while, but I don't actually know how long you guys have been playing together or how you guys even met.
Since 2012, at least this band. And actually, that's a multi-layered story right there, as far as how it got started.
Yeah, 2012.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a because first of all, I guess how should we start? We've all known each other for a long ass time, and I guess you want to start from the beginning.
Yeah.
starts out in the beginning. What?
In 1990.
1990.
Well, I guess it starts out in the beginning when he was born.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty good.
Without me, there would be no Khobretti.
All right, you got time out real quick.
You know, like I said, we started this band in 2012. Like I said, it's a multi-layered answer on that because just rewinding short to 2012, we've been friends. Donnie and I have been friends for a long time, and he ironically just posted some crap on Facebook. Hey, anybody looking to start a hardcore band, Madball influence? And I emailed him as soon as possible. Said, let's do it.
Yeah, then it totally doesn't sound like Madball.
I know. It sounds, it sounds nothing like that. But we've all known each other for a long time. I've known you 20 years or more. I don't know.
Yeah, it was like probably around 96 or 97
Yeah.
probably
Yeah.
when we first met.
Yeah, I've known him all my life. And then we met in high school or
Yeah,
90 or whatever.
we met in like either late 80s, early 90s, and we started playing in bands then. We were terrible. We sucked. Nobody knew how to play or sing, and but you know, we grew up together, and we all had the same passion for the same music. We went to shows, spent a lot of money going to shows and tapes and CDs and stuff like that, and then we graduated high school, and then everyone went and had a life after that. Jeff went off to the military. I went off and did some touring with some bands and stuff, and Jason was still here at school. You know, he was younger than us, and Mark was doing his thing, and you know, all these years go by, and a lot of years went by, and I went to a Chili's restaurant, and I hadn't seen Jeff in probably 10 plus years, and I saw him and like, hey, what's going on? Just chatted.
Oh, you remember how it went? You and your wife were sitting there and said, so is everything going well for your meal so far? Oh, yeah. Oh, what?
Remember that. And I mean, so there was another gap of years that went by before I saw and heard from Jeff again until I posted that, you know, I want to start a hardcore band. And I was kind of particular on how I wanted to do it because I guess I was listening to a lot of that NYC hardcore at the time and stuff, reliving the glory days. So I was like, man, it'd be fun to do this. And then Jeff hit me up and says he has a bass player. We had no guitar player. And, you know, I didn't even think about Jason. He's like, I can ask Jason, but I doubt he'd want to do it. And Jason was like, yeah, I'll do it. Cool. And we've been, you know, we've been doing it ever since, like 2012. So it's been a lot of fun. It's been a growing experience. It's been a learning experience. And, you know, I think we still, I personally think we're only getting better. You know, I mean, every time we get together, I feel it's awesome. Like it's an awesome feeling, man. Actually, being in band. This is honestly one of my first bands that I think I've ever been in that I don't argue or fight or any of that stuff in. I think we're all, I mean, mature enough. But I think because we grew up with each other, we don't try to step on each other's toes. Not saying it doesn't happen. But, you know, I mean, I think that it's very laid back, calm, and reserved compared to the other bands. And I was usually the guy, like, you know, flipping out or freaking out. But, I mean, it's really cool. It's, you know, I think that this band is something different, and that's why I really like it. And personally, me, I wish the market for hardcore was a lot bigger, especially here. Geographically, it's not, but with that said, that's how much I love being in this band because I'm still doing it, you know. I mean, like you said earlier, I mean, you know, we've done shows where there's not a lot of people there, and it kind of gets discouraging, but at the same time, we're a type of band that was like, well, you know what, we're already set up, it's a rehearsal, let's do it, you know. And I think we don't, if there's 2-3 people there or 50 people there, we're going to play exactly the same with the same amount of energy. It's just the way it is. It's who we are. It's how we do it.
So no matter how many people are in attendance, you still play the same show. So you're saying, so if it's a packed house, it doesn't change the energy, the vibe?
No, not at all. For me, rehearsals are that way. I'm out here like I'm at a show because I feel it. That's why it doesn't matter who's there to me. you know, I'm not, to be honest with you, I mean, maybe this sounds douchey to say, but I'm not playing for anyone. I'm playing for me. I'm having a good time. Now, if you like and vibe what I'm feeling, then cool. But I don't play for anyone, man. You know, it's just me, and you know, sometimes I kind of look up and wonder what they're thinking, because I'm rocking out pretty hard and feeling it, you know. And that's what the music does, it's what it's supposed to do, at least for me. So.
Yeah, going back about playing in front of people doesn't matter. There's 2 people or 20 or 500. It's very important to put on a good show no matter what. Because if one person leaves that place thinking, "Oh man, they're pretty good," they're going to tell their friends about it. Not like, "Oh man, those guys, you could tell they weren't even into it." That's why I try to put 110% in every show, because you don't know who's there, and I'm all about first impressions. I don't care if I go somewhere and they sound like shit. You're like, that's my thought of them all the time. So the way if I do anything, I put 110% into it, not halfway.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we go into it full energy all the way, but there is a feedback loop as well, because if the crowd's really getting into it, I think it just fuels.
Oh yeah.
You know, it gets us even more pumped up, which in turn then pumps the crowd up more. So, you know, you have shows like that are just, I mean, we walk off the stage and that's it. I mean, we're done. There's like zero energy left because we just get so into it. At least I do, and that, you know, it's really cool when we have those shows. But like I said, we've played shows too, not very many people there, and you know, maybe people didn't seem like they were really, really getting into it, but I mean, we're still giving it our all.
Yeah, I mean, we played good shows too, though. It's not sound like every show was crap. I mean, we played a lot of good shows too.
I know every show I've been to that you guys have had, I mean, I usually leave there thinking I can start my own band because I'm just so pumped, you know, even though I can't sing or play an instrument.
That's good, man.
Now, going back to what you were saying about the attitudes and stuff, like you used to have the temper. So who in here has the temper now?
I mean, to be honest with you, Jeff and I have always had a temper, but we've never gone like, you know, I mean, we've debated on a song or maybe, you know, and the debates are like, well, I think maybe we should try this, or I think what's really cool about this band, I think without it being said, we kind of let the majority rule thing happen here, you know. I mean, you know, for instance, in songs, I mean, you know, song placement, we've come to, that's another thing I think that sets us apart. We really take our time on trying to like set our set list that isn't, hey, let's just put this first and this, it's thought out, it's somewhat methodical, you know, we're trying to take people on a ride, you know, so, you know, or, you know, give you an example, and it's not even a debate, it's like we'll start talking on the track listings for the song, for the EP, and, you know, I had said something, Jeff's like, well, I think that maybe, and I'm like, okay, and then I said, well, I was thinking this, and then, you know, he jumps on board and says, you know what, I was really, you're right, I didn't think about it that way, so that's about the extent of us, you know what I mean? I mean, those two are brothers, so brothers are going to have their moments, you know, I know, you know, that's how it is or whatever, I mean, but, you know, sometimes you got to hold Jason back from throwing swings and as you can tell here.
I don't know, he's the silent killer.
Yeah.
I don't know, we've got it on video.
Yeah. When he was much younger, though.
No, actually, that show with the...
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah. That is on video, the Black Barbie show.
That's actually, for me, though, that video is something I want to erase always. Like, that's not a good night for any of us. So. But, I mean, like I said, I think we try to respect each other. You know, we try to respect each other's time. I got so sick and tired of being in bands where there's always that one dude that just doesn't care, you know. People are coming out for miles to rehearse, and some dude doesn't have the, you know, the common courtesy to call and say I'm late, or, you know, and he lives 5 minutes from the studio that we're rehearsing at, and everyone's coming 30, 35 plus miles, you know. And with this, everyone, you know, we communicate on Messenger, and, you know, hey, we practice tonight, what time, you know. So it's, you know, I mean, don't get me wrong, we do have our moments of forgetfulness, like, oh shit, rehearsal today, oh my god, you know, like I forgot, or you know, sometimes there's a lot of last minute, hey, I know we're supposed to rehearse tomorrow, but I have a show I have to work, I can't do it, and everyone's flexible, we'll move it to the middle of the week or something, you know. In fact, that's kind of what we did tonight, you know. Jason's leaving on Christmas vacation, I guess, and so we're not going to be able to rehearse probably till, I don't know, closer to New Year. I'm not sure when, but that's why another reason we jumped in and did this tonight. So, it's really good that everyone's flexible and very courteous. That's what I like a lot about this band.
Everything's very constructive. Like you said, even like when we debate stuff, it's always been very constructive, and we always come out at the end of whatever we're debating, we always come out with a better idea, a better song, a better whatever it is that we're debating, because it is very constructive, and it's not like we just argue over stuff. We really work together on it.
That's because I think everybody has the same goals and everybody has the same taste in music. That's why for the most part I don't really argue about directions, because it's all stuff I want to play anyway, and everybody is on the same page. It's not like one person wants to play Hatebreed only stuff and then the other guy wants to play Suicidal Tendencies. I don't know. It's everybody's on the same page. You probably cut that out. That sounded ignorant.
How many times do you guys practice? Like a week, monthly, yearly?
Weekly.
Weekly?
Yeah, and when I tell people what our weekly rehearsal schedule is, it's very, very unique, because we rehearse on Sunday mornings at 10 a.m.
So that is your church?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Nice.
And the reason that happened was Sundays always happened to be the day that worked out for us. We used to do it when we first started doing this. It would be like 3:30, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and I noticed, because I was out of touch with these guys for so long that I would, didn't know what they were really into anymore or what. So I would show up for rehearsals and looking at the Texans game on my phone or something, and they're like, "Oh, what's the score?" And I'm like, "Oh, you watch football too?" Like, yeah. So, some of the practices we're watching the game while we're rehearsing. So we just came
Not
up.
me.
Yeah, not me. So we just thought it'd be easier if we got in here at 10, went for a couple hours, and still was able to make the opening game. The 12 o'clock game or whatever. So it was pretty much an accident, but we still have our whole day, after that rehearsals. And what's really cool and unique, I think, for me, is that, don't get me wrong, if we rehearse on evenings like this, Jason and I will crack a few beers and, relax out and play. And not that we, I'll be honest, there's a couple of times that I've gotten a little sauced, and it's been cool to play, I'm getting really tired though. But
Right.
The advantage of doing the 10 a.m. on a Sunday is you're not bringing beer in, so everyone's on their game, on coffee. So, to me it's always, we have good rehearsals on
Nice.
So I leave here around noon, 12:30, get in my car and think, man, that was a really good rehearsal, very productive today.
So where do you guys see yourselves in the next 5 years?
Dead.
Man, that's interesting.
Yeah, man, who knows?
I don't know. My goal is just to keep playing. Because at the end of the day, I just enjoy playing shows and writing music and recording and the whole process of it, Whether we're make it a little bit bigger or we're still just playing in Houston, it's all right. It'd be all right.
Yeah, I think for me is, like Jeff said, just keep writing and playing. Our advantage here is that we're able to record ourselves and record our ideas on the fly if we want. Where when we were younger, we didn't have the money to do that. Jason and I went to audio school, and we record our own stuff and we send it off to someone to get mixed and mastered. But and we liked it that way. I kind of think maybe that's probably why we have a unique sound too, because we do our own recordings and we do it a certain way, and then we send it off to someone and then they put their magic on it. So it's kind of like a hybrid, I guess, of what we're doing and what they're doing with us. And as long as I can keep doing that for the next 5 years, that's perfect for me,
And plus, I love it because even though everybody says we're old, but I like to just still keep showing these young motherfuckers how to do it.
Exactly. Yeah.
I don't know.
All right, any last words?
That's pretty good. Nice. Nah, check us out.
All right.
Yeah.
Check us out.
Hopefully more skate stock shows.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you guys. I really enjoyed that interview. Love the stories.
Great.
Awesome, thank you.
You sure?